Hello, everybody, and welcome to Creative Camp TV episode 2. Great to see so many people here. My name is Mark.
I'm Lisa.
And I'm Neil.
And we are back, and hope you enjoyed Neil's upgraded countdown timer. Made us laugh, so we thought for those of you that were around last week, might have been something which you might have appreciated. Anyway, thanks so much for everyone in the chat. Let's just say hello to a few people. Mr. Camera Junkie, hello everyone. Hi Louise. Apparently there's someone called Neil who's watching. Not sure where he's watching from, but thank you, Neil, for doing that. And we have Hank. Hi Hank, great. Looking forward to seeing you again when we get to Boston. Muri's Music, hello. I'm not sure of your actual name, so apologies for that, but if you are happy to put it in the chat, if there's anybody who's watching whose handle, as it were, isn't obvious in terms of their name and we don't know who you are, please do put your name if you're happy to, because then we can say hello to you in person. It'd be great. Hi Richard, great to see you. Thank you very much indeed. We've got some of the mods in as well. Hi Andy, thank you so much for joining us. We have, as always, someone looking after us. We appreciate everything that Paul does in the background and even in front of the camera. We'll see if we see him later on. Hello, welcome to everybody, Amador Paradise. And we have Sarah. Hello. From France. Fantastic. We have a real European connection then here today. I'm in the UK. Neil's in Portugal. Just Lisa, who's over in LA. Fantastic. Oh, thanks so much, Janet. Great. Very nice to meet you. Very nice for being here. Thank you very much indeed. So, Neil, would you like to give us just a little bit of an idea of what we're doing here at Creative Camp TV? But just before we do, let me just say that the Zoom room is open. So the link is in Discord. If you'd like to join us live on the show, you can go into the Zoom room. We can bring you on. You can literally just let us know what you'd like to say. If it's just to say hello, this is what I'm doing. Or if you want a bigger chat than that, then we're more than happy to do that too. So yeah, if you go to the Discord channel, the Zoom room is there. You can come into Zoom and hang out there, and then from there you can let us know if you want to come on to this show as well. Fantastic. Neil, take us away.
All right, so as Marcus said, this is show number 2 out of 5 special episodes of CCTV leading up to camp. And the main purpose is really to get the family involved, informed, and meet some of the workshop hosts, of which we saw Anna and Fulgin's last week's little video. We have another video from another pair of workshop hosts coming up soon. So it's to obviously get you excited for Creator Camp and tell you what is going on. We're also going to be giving you some insights into what we'll be doing and tell you what we'll be actually doing at camp when we get there. Now, this Creator Camp TV that you're watching right now is going to continue throughout camp week with the 3 of us hosting at least 2 sessions each day whilst we're at camp to get you all involved. You can practice Ecamm, you can go live, you can get some behind the scenes. We're going to get some audience participation and get you all involved. So it's going to be full on fun, and we're excited to get all the campers involved in this show. So stay tuned for more exciting stuff coming up, but we will be there live and broadcasting this show from Creator Camp.
Amazing. And just to say hi to a couple of people. Stephen, hi, thank you so much. I think I've seen you in the Discord doing some of your videos. Great to kind of get to know people who are doing all of that already in Discord. Eden, thank you so much for being here. And just a little kind of shout out, she's going to be on our Creative Amplifiers show during September. So look out for that as well. And Roy, thank you so much for being here. Always great to see you. So Lisa, let me just ask you this, because I know this is something we hadn't thought about, is that as you can see, we're all wearing our CCTV or Creator Camp shirts,
Yes.
which is amazing. But we then did realize that we might need more than one. So would you like to take us into that story?
Yeah, so we do need more than one. Since we're going to be going live multiple times a day, you need to change clothes. And then we realized there is, how can I get over here? There's CCTV, and then there's Creator Camp TV. So we'll be ordering more shirts, and you'll be able to find us and come hang out with us and do all that great live stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to meeting you guys and seeing people I haven't seen since last year.
And so we thought we'd announce this here, Paul, so that maybe you can subtly let Katie know and Ken and Glenn that there might be a large order going through, because if we're doing 3 or 4 shows a day, as it seems to be ramping up as we're going, we might need all manner of
I
different
can
costumes
take care
to
of
swing
you.
through.
I'll take care of you.
Excellent. Love it. Roy, closed caption TV. No, creating. I don't know.
Oh dear.
So, oh, good question. So, yeah, I mean, that's one of the things we should actually maybe talk about here, is that if you're in the chat, do tell us if you're coming to camp, or if you've come across the stream, or you're just sort of wanting to know more and more about it. Camp is going to be held in Boston, Massachusetts, or Amesbury to be exact, and it's going to happen very, very shortly. So yes, less than 50 days to go. We're all very excited. I suddenly realised that it's literally going to blink and we're going to be there. And we've got quite a lot of planning and quite a lot of cables to take various things that are going to be happening as well. So yeah, so we're all going to be heading to Amesbury. I don't know if anyone saw, I think I might have put it on my Instagram earlier on. I did a thing about turning up in Amesbury, but going down the wrong road, I think was the music that I added. It was a bit too subtle because it was a picture of Amesbury here in the UK on the way to Stonehenge rather than Massachusetts. But anyway, it made me laugh and it kept me amused, which was probably the main reason for doing it on those particular things as well. So, yeah, fantastic. So who else do we have in here? You're going to be there. Can't wait for that to be the case. What's this? Closed circuit TV. Well, I can tell you that it won't be closed circuit when we're actually at camp, because we're actually going to be streaming out to the world, and we're going to make it a slight two-way street as well, because while we want to be sharing sort of behind the scenes and things that are going to be happening, there are some people we know that were at camp last year who really wanted to come this year for whatever reason they weren't able to. So we're going to try and bring them into the stream as well, so that we can kind of make it as much of a family orientated thing for those that have been part of Creator Camp in previous years. So that's kind of the way that we're going to be doing it. Oh, very exciting, very excited. Yes, I think I saw your video in the Discord as well, so thank you very much indeed for being here tonight. And Roy's here. Useless planes, trains and automobiles present, well, as long as one of them works, Roy, and I think you said you're only literally coming about sort of 4,000 or 5,000 miles, probably not quite nearly as far as we are. We just happen to be coming across the Ames are there. Paul, yeah, Amesbury, just north of Boston. And here we are. Wife is from Worcester. I like wearing my old New York hat. Yeah, it's always good to have something which is kind of branded and keeps you going in terms of what you want to be able to do there. So I think we should make this opportunity a chance to show exactly what this particular show is meant to be promoting. So we have Daniel and Alec talking to us about their presentation workshop.
Hey, I'm Alec.
And I'm Daniel. We are so excited that you are going to be joining us at Creator Camp. You are going to learn amazing presentation skills using Ecamm and Ecamm for Zoom.
We're going to show you how to level up your presentations, wow your audience, and have them coming back for more.
We're going to be touching on all aspects of hardware, the software, and other applications that can be combined into your presentations to make them go.
We look forward to seeing you at Creator Camp in October.
Amazing. So, Neil, first of all, what was the thing that you were not aware of or enjoyed out of Daniel and Alec's workshop, which they did last year? Because they were one of the first workshops I think that we actually attended.
Well, they were doing a lot of the integration with Zoom before it was actually integrated into Ecamm. So that was the thing that I was fascinated about. How are people actually doing this and making it work very well? And I learned so much from Daniel because he's been doing this sort of for years based on large workshops. And I think he was saying one of the largest workshops he had was it like 10,000 people or something that attended a Zoom workshop that he was using Ecamm to broadcast it out. So that was stunning for me, fascinating, and something that I'd never thought possible. And now with the integration with Ecamm for Zoom, it's obviously going to make things a lot better. But you do need good hardware and a good run of show and process to get all this working. So I'm sure that's going to be really good to see Alec and Daniel again give us a little bit more insights in how they can produce big workshops using things like Zoom.
Indeed. And Lisa, what was your takeaway from their particular thing last time?
My takeaway is listen for those little tips that are in the back of your mind, and you have that aha moment of, oh, that's how you do that, So I remember in Daniel, the presentation last year, I got a few of those from them, and it was very, very helpful. And, can't say enough good things about what they're teaching and how valuable it is. So listen for the aha, solve the problems.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things for me as well is the fact that there's so much information and so many things that are going on. And one of the things we want to be able to do is to make sure that you take away the bits that you need. So, what are you trying to do? So any of the workshops, I want to be better at this, or this is something I've come up against that I want to get better at. And therefore you can ask those specific questions. And I think, as we mentioned last week, there are no stupid questions. There's no, I should know this, or it should be like this. Whatever you need, whether you're just starting out or whether you're sort of a more seasoned person, ask those questions both to the workshop people, but also the people within your cabin as well, because there'll be a whole range of expertise. And I think then you're going to get the most out of it as you go through as well. So yeah, so some really important things there. Hank, somebody be the best monitor besides Paul this year. Paul, would you like to explain a little bit about that? In fact, let me bring you on, and you can answer that directly.
Hello. Yeah, last year on the buses, I was the one kind of checking people on the bus to make sure that they were on the bus. And then when we left the locations, that we didn't leave anybody behind. And I'll probably be doing that this year because I'm the master keeper of all the lists. So look out for me and my clipboard.
Yeah, but Paul had kind of already sort of in the chat, they were sort of saying all of that, and I think Hank was trying to help out. I mean, maybe Hank was volunteering. I don't know. Maybe he wants to be the person that's going to be able to do that. So yeah, Saeed. Okay, so Zoom just announced a 1 million attendee capability for Zoom webinars, just in case someone is planning something huge. Well, that's pretty amazing. So maybe Creator Camp next year could be completely virtual as well as in person, and then they could have half of America going through as
I'll finally have a place that I can have all my friends join in.
Exactly, and
rather
their
than
cats.
have this segment, Yes.
Oh, fantastic. So we wanted to start this week. Well, I say start, we're already sort of quarter of an hour in, but there was something which was really important last week, and if you could just put in the chat your answer to this. Just joking. So last week there was a big debate going on about a particular graphic. In fact, let me just show you the graphic, and then we don't necessarily need to go down this route again, but just so that if you weren't here last week, you can see exactly what that was all about. So yes, there was a big debate about which way that was going, and Mr. Louise is there. He's already decided which one it was. What was it that I put? What was B? I couldn't even remember which one it was. Anyway, we'll go down that route again if need be. But yes, that was what that was all about from there. So there are a couple of people in the chat who I think haven't come across some of this before. Let me just bring this one up. I've never used Ecamm before, but if it's responsible for the triple box effect that you're using, then that's awesome. I have an ATEM, and I use it's mostly okay. So yes, Ecamm, everything that you see here, everything that's been produced here is been done through Ecamm in terms of the way that it looks, all the different scenes, and it gets basically layered up from having scenes, and then you can put overlays on it, so you basically sort of lots of things on top of each other, and then from there you can add pictures, you can add movies, you can add graphics, whatever it is that you want to do. Neil, you've done a demo for Ecamm, and is there a better way of describing that, or a way of sort of getting sort of the overall effect of Ecamm across in a more direct way?
No, I think you explained it really well. I mean, the ATEM is a hardware solution for doing similar things to Ecamm, but this is all done in software, and there's much more flexibility in terms of what you can do with Ecamm and so on, and bring all of us in glorious HD as well via Zoom and things like that. So the possibilities are endless, and the ability to have all these overlays and graphics and ease of use is what makes Ecamm very easy to use. And there's lots of tutorial videos on the Ecamm channel. I've done quite a few myself, the fundamentals, just to get you started. So if you are just starting out with Ecamm, then I go and check out some of those videos to just start the building blocks of getting you up and running and getting these lovely graphics set up.
Yeah, exactly. So that's probably a good point. Sorry, Lisa.
Oh, I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong. The ATEM only recognizes it as one camera, correct?
Yes, that's right. So when you
So,
plug in the
yeah.
ATEM into your Ecamm, it's only going to be physically recognized as one camera, where Ecamm can have multiple camera sources. Anything that your Mac recognizes as a camera can be brought in as a source to Ecamm. So multiple cameras, iPhones, iPads, anything basically, NDI, and so on. But we want to get too technical for this, but yeah,
I
you're
know.
absolutely right. That's
Yeah.
I
that's
just wanna-
exactly right.
yeah,
But you
point
can bring
that
in
out.
whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do that. So maybe, Paul, if you don't mind in the chat, if for anyone who hasn't actually come across Ecamm before, maybe if you could put a link to the YouTube or a particular playlist or something, or maybe Neil's sort of fundamentals playlist, something to be able to sort of get people sort of into what Ecamm is and how it works to begin with, then that's probably the best place to actually kind of get going. And then we'll focus today specifically on Creator Camp and some of those things that are going through. So yeah, appreciate that. We have more hamster thing. There's no debate. It's an 8er running backwards or you're wrong. Either of you get that?
Oh, I think he means it's either running backwards or you're wrong. I think that's what it means.
Oh, I see.
So
Got you.
I think that's what it
Okay.
means.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Got it. Fantastic.
We don't want to go into this debate again.
Yeah, I
no, we
know.
don't. No,
Offline with
let's
you,
move
Saeed.
Let's leave it be. Leave it alone.
We'll connect on LinkedIn again, Saeed, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, and
But
then we
anyway,
can get it for
just joking.
exactly. So last week we did ask if you wanted to send in any pictures. I think Paul put the link in Discord about being able to upload pictures from last week or being able to share some of your stories and that kind of thing. So we did have a couple of those things we wanted to share as well. So here are a couple of pictures that people did that. So this one came in from Callie. So thank you very much, Callie. Appreciate that. And Callie was part of our cabin and an integral part of how Creative Amplifiers sort of was launched. But with more of that story another time. And we also had one from Anna and Fulgens. So there, you can see we have Daniel and Alec are both there with Ken and Glenn, Anna and Fulgens, and of course Mr. Paul Duncan, Mr. Moderator there as well. So yeah, so if you want to send those in, let us know. Because what we can do is we can share more and more stories of what people did last year, more pictures, more behind the scenes, more thoughts. And I think for those people that are coming back, being able to sort of give people in their first time the ability to be able to sort of get an idea of what it's going to be like and how it's going to sort of affect everyone and how it can be supportive, then I think that would be a really good thing to do. Do either of you have a good tip maybe for people who are going for the first time in terms of breaking the ice or sort of getting sort of conversation flowing, because I know that can be quite tricky for people when they first attend. Lisa, do you want to have anything there?
Everybody is so welcoming. Just walk up to whomever and introduce yourself, and you'll get into a great conversation. It's just such a good spirit. Like you can't go wrong. You can't, not make a new friend or find out you have something in common or find out somebody just by chance. Small world. So yeah, just walk around and say hello, introduce yourself, get into a conversation with people, and it's so much fun. And there's so much encouragement and support, and it's a good, loving, joyful feeling to be there. So just get out there.
Just do it. And Neil, I think we
Yeah.
connected before we actually arrived. I think it's because I realised there was a fellow Brit in the gonna be there. So I think I reached out on I'm in Discord before, but just tell us a little bit about that experience for you.
Yes. Well, it was a Brit by proxy, as Mark said, that I'm now living in Portugal, but still British roots and things. And it was quite funny because Mark, I think you were in Boston and had a walk around and took lots of photographs the day before I decided to take the train from Amesbury and go up there. And it was really funny because Mark was posting some pictures and sending me some pictures of he's taken, and I was walking past exactly the same area and took the same pictures. Like, well, Mark was just there yesterday. So it was really nice to sort of connect on that level, share some photographs and things like that. And to Lisa's point, we're all there at Creative Camp for a reason. It's not like a group of people that work for a large company that have just been thrown into this room and said, well, you know, you've got to get on with the people that you work with and probably never really know. We're all there for the same reason. It's a great creative community. Everybody's super nice and really wonderful. And as I mentioned before, it's the best conference that I've ever been to, just because you meet wonderful people like these two lovely people that I'm with right now, plus others. So yeah,
Indeed.
enjoy yourselves.
Lovely. And I think Paul's got something to follow up there as well.
Yes, when you pack for Creator Camp, do not fill your suitcase. Leave space, because trust me, you will be coming back with things, and you want to have space in a suitcase. Otherwise, you're going to be running out to buy another one while you're in Massachusetts. We told everybody this last year. Some people believed us, some people didn't believe us, but everybody in the group here that has been to Creator Camp before will tell you, leave space in your suitcase.
Paul, can I show something
Yes.
from last year?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Sure.
Here it is.
It's amazing. I use mine all the time.
Mug.
The Creator Camp
Yeah,
mug.
There were one of the winning team ended up with like switch pods, and I think they had a mic, and there was a bunch of stuff that they got. So, and you're going to be able to purchase stuff while you're there using Camp Cash. So yeah, don't stuff your suitcase, because you're going to need room when you come home. And
I would also say that whatever you think that amount of space should be, I'd probably double it. Because I was thinking, no, I believe them, and I did leave space, and I had a fairly large suitcase anyway, because I was obviously coming across the Atlantic. But actually, the case was full when I went back, and I won't give anything away, but there were soft things, there was, lots and lots and lots of things that are going to be able to do that. So yeah, whatever you think you need, make sure that you have even more space than you think from there. So speaking of someone who was there last year, hi Orbs, do tell people in the chat, or if you want to come on and chat with us, you can do that too. Just a reminder, anyone watching, if you'd like to come into the Zoom room, if you'd like to leave a comment while you're there, if you want to just hang out there and chat, if you want to come onto the stream, we can bring you in and have a little chat as well. More than happy for you to do that. And yes, very much she's agreeing, definitely leave room, and that's definitely the way forward. And I just want to say hello to someone who I saw earlier on, and you'll see why this is important, but I'm going to do this very briefly, but just to say that I've looked at your channel, and I've really enjoyed it, and it's I think you're doing a great job, and I think it's about 6 months or so you've been having your stream going through, so yeah, it's been really good, so congratulations with that so far. Yeah, looking forward to chatting to you at camp as well as we go through. Okay, so shall we do a quiz, or is there anything else we'd like to talk about before we move on? Neil, anything you want to?
Let's do the quiz, I think, and then we can chat later.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so as this happened straight away, amazingly, which NFL team did a Creator Camp 24 attendee say her content was about in Discord? And we couldn't have made this up any better. A, Kansas City Chiefs, B, Miami Dolphins, C, Detroit Lions, and D, Baltimore Ravens. Now, last week we thought we had a little bit of an issue in terms of people just putting the letters in, but we're going to try that again because we've never had that on our channel before. So put the right answer, or whatever you think it's going to be, A, B, C, or D in the chat. And if it doesn't work, we'll come up with another idea in a second. But for now, it's just put the actual answer in, and then we will go from there. So it's amazing. It's almost like we planned this, isn't it? It all works so well. But anyway, so we go. So, hello, Karen. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you. So yeah, A, B, C, or D. Thank you very much, Paul. Oh yes, and Neil, that's really good of you. I would say that probably though. before we've even announced what it's going to be. That's not going to be the right one.
Just checking the letters work.
Just
that's
making
all.
sure they were coming through. Exactly. So any more A, B, C, or D in the chat? Let's find out what the answer was. It was D for the win. D for the win. And who did we have? I think the first person with the correct one was Louise. Congratulations.
Louise.
Well done, Louise.
Fantastic. Now, my next question is did you actually answer your own question? Or did you not? If not, thank you for giving Louise the chance to win that as we go through. But it looks like everything's working, A, B, C, D, and also what everyone else is doing as well. So here we go. Quiz question number 2.
All right, so who gate crashed Paul Duncan's Discord video this week? Was it Valerie, Katie, Doc, or Luis, Mr. Camera Junkie? A, B, C, D. Put your answers in now.
Got a 1 in 4 chance if you haven't seen it. Oh dear. Fantastic. I love this. So, Orbs, just let me know. You put, as in you don't know, or the you didn't see it, or let us know what the X stands for. We have a few people here. So we have some people saying D, some people saying A. What's a gate crash? It was basically Paul was doing a video, and then there was someone who came and basically photobombed it in a fairly large way. That's kind of the way that it worked. Okay then. So, and the answer was... It was A. It was Valerie. And if I can see right, I think... AJ, I think you were the first person. So, congratulations. Very, very good. Brilliant stuff. Okay. Exactly. We're all so friendly and so supportive here. I love it. Absolutely love it. Okay. Now, this is quiz question number 3. All I'm going to say is Lisa's going to take this, and I'm sorry.
What funny debate topic was discussed during the last episode? Was it A, blue/black, or white/gold dress? B, hamster wheel, moving forward or backward? C, the best camp team color? Or D, taste wine or chocolate first?
So, if you were here last week, this is a fairly straightforward one. If you weren't here last week, you might have got an idea if you were here at the start of the stream. If not, just guess, but A, B, C, or D. Let us know what you think. So, Kathy, very nice to see you. Fantastic.
Hey, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
Yay, how you doing?
Yay.
Hey, how you doing? And Saeed, no, you're not allowed to answer it. Oh dear. Kathy, are you coming to camp this year? Let us know. I'm not sure whether I've
Yes.
seen you in the Discord or anything. So the answer to this obviously was... It was the hamster wheel. Is it moving forwards or backwards? Or I think we got to the point that it might have been moving in both directions. But hey, let's not go there. So I think the first person was... Congratulations, Orbs. Really appreciate that. Hooray! Amazing, amazing, amazing. Oh, yes, indeed. Thank you. So for those people who weren't there last year, that came out of Camp 2023, where we had the ability to kind of bring your own chant or bring your personality through to each of the cabins. Yeah, it was fantastic. Paul, would you like to come on and tell people a little bit about how the cabins work and that kind of thing? Because there'll be some people who won't be quite aware of it yet. I know we haven't announced who's in who's and all that kind of thing, but certainly in terms of how it gets put together.
Sure. There are 5 cabins. Each one has a cabin leader. And the attendees will be randomly assigned to a cabin. So once your assignment, that's the group that you will be part of throughout camp. So everybody goes through all of the workshops, but each cabin goes through, the individual workshops at a time. So, everybody's on a schedule, goes through. So by the end of the 3 days, you will have gone through all the workshops together as a team. And you'll also be working on some projects during the course of camp that you'll be competing about. And that will be brought together at the very last event, which is the big, send-off reception on Friday.
Amazing. And I think, the three of us, that is, were in the same cabin. And I think we kind of got to know each other before that, but that was the thing that kind of cemented our relationship, because you're moving around together, you're learning together, you're asking questions together, then you're eating together as well, which I know is going to be different this year because we're all going to be eating in the same place at the same time with even more time to socialize. But I think that learning together, there's something, it's like being at school, isn't it? You kind of find your little tribe even within your cabin, and then it gets really sort of exciting from there.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. And then, it's the one of the neat parts was in the evenings after everything was done, we would come back to the hotel, and then we would kind of gather in the lobby area. There's kind of like an eating space in the Hampton Inn, and we'd all hang around out there and chat, either as groups or as individuals, and got to know each other a lot more too. And that was a lot of fun.
It was, and lots of great stories, I think, from people who, bearing in mind it was the first Creator Camp last year, there were people that knew each other from other events or other things that you'd done via the streams on the channel, and just hearing some of those stories as someone I'd not met before. But it was so, I don't know, it's like sitting around a campfire, sort of hearing all those sort of what happened before and who'd done what and who knew whatever and how they got together and who learned from whatever. It's a great thing and a really, really sort of exciting experience for everyone. And yeah, as I said, we can't wait for this year as we go through to find out even more. So everyone's agreeing as well. So Louise, yeah, after hours was great. Definitely was, getting to know everyone. And it's amazing because your sort of conversations are slightly different then, aren't they? Because they're more relaxed, they're more social. Everyone's kind of had sort of things that they've learned over the day they might be chatting about as well. So really, really good. And yes, indeed, Hank, definitely. So if you're doing the wine and chocolate, don't eat before, you'll be overly stuffed. There's definitely that for those things that are doing that. You want to make sure that you make the most of it, and those other of sort of the excursions and the events are going to be fantastic. Paul, do you want to just mention what those excursions are for those people who don't know? I think we mentioned it last week, but just for anyone new this week.
Sure. Yeah, there's a wine and a chocolate and wine tasting, and this chocolate place is off out of the universe. It's unbelievable. It's not the same one as last year. This place is incredible. Then there's going to be a ropes course that you can do, and that will also be Liz, who was one of the cast members of the last Survivor. She's going to be doing the ropes course with you, so you can check that off your bucket list if you want to do that. There's an alpaca trip to see the alpacas at a state farm, and then there is a video scavenger hunt in Portsmouth. I never remember the state. I think it's New Hampshire or something, but it's close by that we'll take you to. And that one is a lot of fun too. A group of us went there last year to do some just walk around picture taking, and it had a blast. It's a really neat old town.
Yeah, I love it.
And that's all part of your package.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing to think about, is the fact that so many events you go to, you just sort of there and you've sort of paid to get there and you get the event itself. But, all the food's there, all the transportation's there, getting around the whole of Amesbury is all included as well. It's kind of, you literally are walking into the Ecamm world. And I think because Ecamm is based in Amesbury, you get to go into the offices and the studios and everything that they're doing. Everything that you've sort of seen through the YouTube channel suddenly becomes a reality. Neil, I think you actually went there a day or so before it sort of started, didn't it? So how was that for you?
It was really funny, actually. So I got there, as you said, a couple of days before, and I was walking around Amesbury, aimlessly walking around Amesbury with my camera trying to take some photographs. And there was a couple of ladies asking me directions for somewhere at first. And I said, I have no idea. So I was pointing like to this. And the next minute, I I heard this voice say, "Hey, Neil, how's it going?" I turned around and it was Katie. And she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm just trying to help people with directions." And I said, "I'm not even from around here." And then she invited me back to the Ecamm office, which was literally a 2-minute walk into this place. And it was just a little bit surreal. You know, you've seen this on TV, you've seen where Ken and Glenn are broadcasting from, and lots of the Ecamm fam have their videos and live streams distributed from there. And I walked in like, I'm in this place. I was looking around like, there's the cushions. And then Paul walks in. It's like, Paul, you know, and it was just very surreal. So it was a wonderful experience to meet the people and meet Doc face to face. And it was crazy that I didn't realize as well that Paul and Doc hadn't physically met each other. But you had been talking to each other for years, right? In the virtual world. So it's that meeting of people that you're actually seeing on TV, as it were, meeting them in real life. And you do get a little bit sort of, I guess, starstruck, taken aback, like, oh yeah, it's you. And there you are in real life. So it's a whole world of fun. But I really enjoyed Amesbury. It's a great little town. Coffee shops are amazing. And it was just a world of fun. Great pizza as well, as we all know.
Exactly. Well, we'll take us into that story as well. And Lisa, what are your sort of memories of that sort of coffee shop experience? Because I know a lot of us kind of went into town first before the first workshop or whatever. We were able to sort of hang out, have coffee, sort of get to know people that maybe weren't in your cabin in that way. I sort of really enjoyed that, I think.
Yeah, and I got to meet people who weren't in my cabin just because we were sitting outside and we lucked up on the weather. It was beautiful. It was like the perfect, October days out there. So we really lucked out. And it was Halloween was coming. So you felt like it was fall and there's pumpkins, on the lawn of the church. And it was just very picturesque and quiet and just a very sweet little town. So, yeah, that coffee shop is great though.
Yeah.
Great coffee, great food.
Yeah, it really was. So we have a question. I mean, Paul, you may know why this is or isn't the case, but no ghost hunting this year?
Not this year. Yeah, we decided to do a couple different things. So we bypassed. October is a very, very, very busy time in Massachusetts because of, Salem is close by and the Salem witch hunts and a lot of history there. So the hotels and everything book up. So we decided this year to do something a little bit different. And so that's why we added some of the other excursions.
Yes, indeed. So Orbs has asked, what is the Zoom link? So I know we can't post that in the chat here because it doesn't want to be super public, but I know if you're on Discord, Orbs, it is in there. Or maybe if Paul, you can send the link another way, that would be really, really cool.
Yeah, Orbs, it's in the Ecamm Discord channel, and if you're attending camp, you have access to the Creator Camp channels, and it's in the announcements area in the announcement channel of Creator Camp.
Yeah, and just see if you can find it, and then you can chat in there, and if you want to come on and say hi in person, then let us know, and we'll make that work as if by magic, and then that might give me a good reason to get my hamster wheel going when I'm trying to make that work in life. So Louise, tell us about this, because the Bakehouse, if I'm right, guys, was the place that we actually had our pizza and wine on the last day and decided that Creative Amplifiers should become a real thing. So what's specific about this particular one, Louise, and why is it so good? Do let us know. And can either of you remember what pizza that you had, or did we share one? I can't remember now.
Didn't we just share
pepperoni or something?
It's like pepperoni, yeah. I think it was just simple.
Yeah.
Stick with pepperoni. You won't go wrong. There was so many different varieties, though, I remember. Different combinations that I'd never sort of sampled.
Yeah.
So
I think that's why we just went simple and went straight for the pepperoni. And yeah.
I'm sure Mark had something elaborate, though. Didn't you, Mark?
Well, I
was
can't...
it sort of, roast guinea fowl with truffle oil or something like that. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what it was.
I had that for starter when we went for our glass of something before. That was in the restaurant, wasn't it?
That's why it was a progressive evening. Remember, we started one place and just kept wandering to find what was open.
Yeah,
So,
because I
Yes,
think
that's
we
right.
hadn't been to every single place during the week, so we kind
Yeah.
of went to the place that looked. There's a place that had lovely sort of outside lighting that we went into, and there was lots of people wanting to sort of be part of that, and so we sort of did that, had a drink, and they very kind of let us sort of sit at the bar because we weren't quite sure because we weren't necessarily going to be eating there, but they were really really friendly and chatting to us about what we've been up to and all of that. And I think Amesbury as a whole actually were really kind of welcoming, because all these sort of 100 people sort of descended on the town, and every time you go into a coffee shop they'd ask you what you were doing, and then of course there's people like me with funny accents that were sort of suddenly there in sort of full voice, and then sort of they're very friendly, asking loads of questions, and it was great to sort of chat to people within the town as well as obviously people that were on the event as well. So yeah, really like
And
that.
the coffee shops
go
are
ahead.
kind of unique because this is one of my favorite parts of one of the coffee shops was one of the coffee shops had some dogs, and they would kind of get in combative with each other. And so one of the dogs, named Bart, would be put into a case. So he was kind of closed up in the case to kind of cool off. And so he would sit there and watch everybody. When I first saw it, I thought it was a fake dog. I thought, oh, somebody stuffed their dog and put it in a case. And then it moved. And I was like, oh, it's a lie. But he would come out, he would snarl at one of the other dogs, and then he'd end up back in jail for a little while. But that was
That's amazing, absolutely amazing.
I've never seen that. Must have missed that.
Yeah, I don't
coffee shop.
remember
That was
that.
really good.
It's
It's a
funny.
Never seen a
different
dog
one.
being put in a naughty corner before, but there you go. That's amazing.
Well, yeah, certainly there. So Louise is saying, that's right, I got confused. So the bakehouse is the coffee shop, and I think that's where we met a few times before. So Paul, what's the name of the pizza place then, which I thought was called something along those lines as well?
I
It's
knew
called
it until you.
Isn't it something with bread in it? Doesn't it something bread in there?
Yeah.
That's why I got confused with the bakehouse then. It was one of those
Yeah, I
things.
feel like bread's in there. In the title
Bread's in
there.
there somewhere.
No, we'll find out and everything
I'll
as well.
find it.
Let us know. So Aubrey is
Louise
in,
knows.
Has he got it? Let us know, Louise, if you could remember as well. Aubrey is in the Zoom room. Thank you so much for joining us in the Zoom room. If anyone else wants to, it obviously works. The link works in Discord as well. So very good. Aubrey, let me know if you want to come and say hi and share any of your experiences. We'll kind of make that work. Yeah, you'd like to do that? Fine. In which case, I will make that happen. And just give me a second.
Flatbread.
We'll do that. Flatbread. Thank you, Louise. I knew it was
Flatbread.
it was rated.
Bread,
You can see
yes.
how I got
Title.
confused. You can see how I got confused. Fantastic. Right then. So, thanks so much, Paul. What I will do is I shall, while we're chatting away here, I'm going to add Aubrey as well, and then she can bring in and give us some of her experiences as we're going through as well. So let me just do this. Here she
And Mark is a
Give me-
master of this. You can see that Mark is talking. He's manipulating Ecamm. He's
And we'll see
bringing
how it all
in a
works.
guest.
We will see
It's
in a
just-
minute and
it's
see if that
amazing.
actually works. And
Not a hamster
we'll-
in sight, Mark. Amazing.
Not yet, not yet. So Aubrey, I'm going to bring you very, very shortly. Actually, I'm going to try and do something very exciting and actually do preview mode and see if I can make that happen as we're going through. So the two of you talk amongst yourselves. This is one of these moments when I said
Talk
what I was
amongst
actually going
ourselves.
to do is just bring this so I can just concentrate for 2 seconds.
We can
about-
certainly do
I
that.
re-
And
Yes. Go ahead. No, you, please.
oh no, you. No,
Oh, no, you, please.
I was going to say that Amesbury's at this time of year as well, with all the Halloween decorations. It was really cool for me to see that, because Halloween is celebrated in the UK and here in Portugal, but it seemed to be for me that they start like a month early or something, and it's full on crazy decorations. You've got the houses and you've got a street called Elm Street, which is hilarious, right? Nightmare on Elm Street. So it's all lined up. So that was one of the things that I loved taking the photographs of all the scary things, and people just go all out, right? It's full on
Yeah.
elaborate, and the houses just look really picturesque and so well done and everything. So yeah, that was something for me that I really took
It's
away.
like some of them. It's like Martha Stewart exploded with all of the decorations
Yes.
there,
Yeah.
which was funny.
Fantastic.
And then
So-
there was the scary house that had all the, had all those props that was a little frightening. We
That
walked
moved as
past
you
them.
walk past them,
Yeah,
right?
they
As you're
moved
walking
and
past.
reached
Yes,
out
and
to
they
you.
move.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
little
that
frightening.
was a little bit scary. And this is at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah,
so,
and,
I mean,
Exactly. Right, Aubrey, if you're ready, you are about to come on live. So welcome, Aubrey, to the show. Hello. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad this actually worked okay. And I'm pretty sure now that we're not in preview mode and that everyone can see you. So yeah, give us a wave and say hello to everybody.
I think Aubrey's on mute.
I think she is.
Unmute. So is it better now?
Yes,
Brilliant.
you're back.
Yes. All right. Fantastic. Sorry, getting all
No
good
problem.
with this technical stuff. But you wouldn't believe it. I used to be a software engineer. But yep. So hey, y'all, I'm glad y'all are here, and I am so pumped to come back to camp.
So what was your lasting memory or your favorite memory from last year?
Well, my favorite memory, well, I don't know if it's favorite, but it's like the most hilarious is when we went on the ghost walk or hunt. Like, who was it? Johnny took off, like just ran off. So I gotta say, Paul was there, he knows. So I'm like, yep, it was great fun to watch, but then watching Johnny run away. But more than anything, just talking to great other basically family. Like, like you said, just being online, you don't get to interact with people. And it is fantastic to be able to actually talk in person with somebody and learn stuff. I mean, everybody has stuff to share. So I am thankful for all the knowledge, that we get.
And whose cabin were you in last year? Who were some of the people you got to hang out with?
Well, I was in yellow, which I'm glad we're not having a yellow team anymore because that color. Anyways, so I got to Mary Lou Mandel was our leader, our fearless leader. And so I am thankful that we were able to go around and learn so much, hanging out with her and then everybody around.
I think for me, it's the family idea of some of those things. So, for example, last year, if you remember, Doc was doing a workshop, wasn't he? And so
Yes.
this year he's got a slightly different role, I think, as well. And Paul, are we allowed to mention that, or we're not allowed to mention that just yet?
No, you can mention that.
We can mention it. So I think Doc is one of the cabin counselors. He's going to be one of those leaders that's going round. So not only are you going to have him just for one workshop where he's going to put you through your paces, if you're in his cabin, you're going to be put through your paces for every single one. And I mean, I think we can safely say that Doc's competitive in some form or another. I think we'll be able to say
Just
he'll look
a
after you.
little bit.
Don't be surprised. Don't be
Huge.
surprised if you hear a whistle and hear a whip cracking and
Yep.
the voice of the sergeant come blaring out at you. So those of you that are in the Doc's team, I'll provide some Band-Aids.
May need a few other things too, but yeah.
Fantastic.
I thought
Don't
you
be
were gonna
scared
say,
if
Paul,
you are.
that he's
Don't be
going
scared.
to
He's a lovely, lovely man. Lovely, lovely man.
adopt this softly approach, but there you go. So yeah, something to look
We
forward
have
to.
we have a camp clinic for a reason. Actually, it's not related to.
That's not
It's
what
not
we're
first
providing,
aid.
right? Just to be clear, we're not doing CCTV clinic, so we're good.
No.
Okay, we're good. Just to be clear,
Exactly.
it's not what
Exactly.
it stands for.
So I think, Louise, this was related to. Interesting that suddenly gone quiet. That one of the decorations was there were so many. I think that was related to the fact we were there just before Halloween, and it was amazing, wasn't it? There were just so many different things going on, and one of them was superly well done and absolutely incredibly put together. And I think that the moving one, I think, is really, really cool. Hi Dan, great to see you. Didn't realize Lisa was doing this. He would have showed up weeks ago. He's such a fan of yours. There's Neil and I put in
you,
all this
Dan.
stuff and supportive. And as long as Lisa's on the stream, Dan's there. I can't blame.
That's all right. That's fine by us.
Yeah, exactly. As long as everyone's getting something out of it, is they're going through. So, tell us where you're coming from. How are you going to get to camp?
Yeah, so where I'm coming from, I'm in Peachtree City, Georgia. It's just 30 minutes south of Atlanta. So I may be driving up with Mr. Camera Junkie.
Oh.
So Luis,
Oh,
yeah,
Fantastic.
So,
Did you know about this,
Rich,
Louise, or is she just announced
awesome. Oh,
road trip.
by the way, Luis. Funny.
it? Amazing.
There you go. Yeah, I'm very
Very
much
nice.
like instant, so hey, should be fun.
Amazing. And can you share a little bit about what your content is? How did you sort of come across Ecamm and your sort of journey through that?
Yes. Oh boy. So let's see. My journey with Ecamm, I started using it like 4 years ago, I think. But yeah, I found out about Doc and his, like, what do you call it? Paul, you can help me? His weekly thing. See,
Oh, hey,
Oh, the demo?
I can't talk good.
Go
The
Class
demos.
Oh yeah, the weekly demo. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's weekly demo, but then also on
Doc
we
Doc
have
has
Gold.
Doc has a group that he meets with on a weekly basis, and part of his community called the Gold Class.
Yeah, so he really brought me in, and I am so thankful, because I learned so much. Even like I was saying, that the camp, creator camp, I mean, it was fantastic to be able to meet in person so many amazing people. Paul, I got to meet Paul for the first time in person. I'm like, I love that man. Like, and now even more, I'm like, squeeze him to death, but trying to be good. But no, I mean, it's been fantastic getting to actually physically meet, and talk with. I mean, I even had Mr. Camera Junkie come up when he was in Atlanta for something, and I'm like, I can't drive because how do you say? I had an accident years ago where I became disabled, and so I cannot drive a car and all that stuff. But I am so thankful that I can obviously communicate via video, but also learn the different tactics to do it. So what my content really is about is, hey, you have a crazy accident happen to you. Like, my life changed like that. I mean, I was on a bicycle ride, and mile 44 came around, and guess what? I went up and over my handlebars, landed on my head. Don't worry, I was wearing a helmet. Good thing I just bought the week before, brand new helmet, smash. So, yep, I had a brain injury, traumatic brain injury, and they were like, she got a 3% chance to survive the night. I'm like, I only found out about this after, obviously. So after 13 days in a coma, I woke up, and I am thankful to be alive. And now I'm thankful to be here and share. Every morning I do a morning motivational minute-ish, because minute-ish, I'm like, I tend to talk a lot sometimes. So it's basically just a still quote and encouragement for everyone, because I need it first. So I find it for me first. And then I'm like, oh, this is good. So I share. So it's just a little something every day. Start your morning. Yep. Good stuff.
I love that, and I think Lisa,
Yeah,
this is
it's
something that you're always really keen on when we interview people on our show, is the fact that what is it around what you're doing which is important to you to keep you at the center of everything. And I think Aubrey, there's her whole show is about that, based on her experience.
Perfect example. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, tell us why that's important to you, and some of those experiences.
For me, oh, sorry. So, yeah, I didn't know if it's me or you.
No, you can.
I didn't either.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I'm turning it over to you.
Sorry, y'all are more the pros at this. Sorry, still gotta work on that. But I am thankful. I know me. Like, I need encouragement. I mean, everybody's different what they think, but I need encouragement every day. Like, and so I'm like, you know what? I'm a disabled person. After being a software engineer and working 60 hours a week, you know, I'm like, it's a bit of a change now. But I'm like, what do I want to do? I'm a weirdo. I've always said, make the world a better place. You know, I'm like, all right, let's do it. Like, so I occasionally, which get back into that, do shows about traumatic brain injury and what people can do with that specifically. But for now, it's just my morning motivational minute-ish, where I just, hey, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, here you go. You know, so it's just encouragement every morning.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming on the Zoom and doing that. Sorry, Lisa, you're going to follow up there.
I just want to say one thing. What I love about what you're doing is you never know who needs to hear something, or hear a phrase, or hear something that you say that might just change their day, change their direction. So it's beautiful what you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Neil's put the channel there in the chat as well, and
thank you.
And I was just going to say, it really is that sense of us saying thank you to you for coming on to the Zoom. This is what we wanted to do, is the ability to sort of share people's stories, because we have the software in common. You know, we're all fans of it. We're all using it, either if we just started or we're going through. But I think the Creator Camp, the main thing that you got that real sense of is the fact that it's people, and they're using it for their service, for their message, to talk about what's important to them. And you get to hear that story as it's going through. And then it suddenly becomes even more powerful, because we realize that while it's the most amazing tool, it's a tool that's helping things being shared around the world. And then that's such an exciting thing, but I think such a powerful thing as well. And I think having 100 people who are all using it in that way for whatever that is that they're passionate about, it comes through. So yeah, thanks so much for joining us on Zoom. Anyone else who wants to join us on Zoom, as we said, you can do that either this week or in the upcoming shows. It's in the Discord. But for now, Aubrey, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you sharing your story.
Thank you, Aubrey.
Thank you for letting
Thanks
me
for being
share.
here. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Amazing stuff. And so,
Love it.
yeah, it's so good.
Great.
Hi, Kathy. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. David, thank you. Hope the song's coming along well. Let us know how it's going.
The camp song.
I'd forgotten.
Yeah,
about
exactly. Camp song, if we
Oh,
could
how
do
could
that.
I?
Exactly. Oh, and that's it. You know, not only do you meet once, you meet multiple times. Neil, why don't you just take us into, you know, we've met in person now, haven't we, as well? You know, so sort of take us into sort of what we've done beyond just sort of being live and being online each week.
Oh, you mean as a group? Oh, yeah.
the three of us.
So what have we done? Well, we've obviously started this show, Creative Amplifiers, as people have seen, and we've obviously met in person a couple of times since then as well. So Mark kindly came over to Portugal, where I live, where we did a live show together, and it was great to sort of physically meet up again. And then only June this year, we all sort of got together in Lisbon, where we sort of met up, and we tried to go live at a at a festival, but that didn't work too well, because, you know, I don't go live on YouTube via the phone, and you have to put it a certain way. But other than that, we obviously met up and sort of shared some experiences there in Lisbon and so on. And our entire show, for those of you who've not seen us before, Creative Amplifiers, all came out of Creator Camp, where we met. We liked each other. We thought it would be a great idea to continue, give something back to the community, showcase other people who are Ecamm fam, and yeah, the rest is history. And here we are now doing CCTV. So we are, just so grateful for this community, for us to be together and for us to all have met and share these experiences and continue to do so. And we're back live again in Boston, only a few weeks away.
We are. Can't wait. Can't wait. And I think I saw in the chat here, we have... hi, Anna. Thank you so much
hi,
for
Anna.
being here. And Anna and Fortunes very kindly hosted us last week. After we'd done this show, we went on their show to chat a little bit more about it. So thank you so much for hosting us on that. We really do appreciate it. And yeah, looking forward to catching up again and also being there in Boston as well. And I think there's a chance to get the headshots and various things as well. There's lots of extras, aren't there, as well as just the workshops that go on. Paul, maybe could you just tell us a little bit about some of those extras as well as the workshops that you can share is there doing that?
Yes, there's going to be a gear talk session where we're going to have vendors where you can walk around, talk to vendors, try out different gear, microphones, cameras, all kinds of different stuff. That's going to be happening. We're going to do the headshots a little differently instead of Anna taking all the headshots because we wanted her to be able to participate in a lot of the events that were going on. So rather than Anna taking the pictures, we're going to set up a kind of a photo booth session, and we're going to teach you how when you go back home and you want to be able to do headshots, how you can do headshots yourself using Ecamm and the equipment that you have, to do quick headshots and things like that. So it's going to be a little bit different this year, and then we're also going to have the ability to do some streaming sessions. We're going to have a camp clinic, not in a medical sense, but where you can go up and talk to Mary Lou and talk about, challenges that you're having or, questions that you may have, and she'll be able to help you with that. We're going to have some fireside chats with different people. Two of them will be Ken and Glenn, or one of them will be Ken and Glenn, talking about the future of Ecamm. We're going to have a session about, AI products and different things like that. So, it's going to be similar to what we did last year, but different too.
Love it. Really can't wait. Thank you so much for sharing that.
One thing, speaking, since I'm kind of making announcements, I show that 21 of you have not made your hotel reservations yet. And I haven't gotten the latest hotel list, but it's probably, I'm assuming a few of you, hopefully most of you have gotten your hotel reservations. But we have 2 hotels, the Hampton Inn and across the street is the Fairfield. That's kind of our overflow hotel. The Hampton Inn is booked, if not completely yet. It was getting very close. So you want to make your reservations very soon. Just remember, you just have to put a credit card down. You're not being charged for anything, but we have to release the room blocks at least a month before camp. So once we release those rooms are open to the public. And like I said, the hotel is very popular this time of year for people coming in for holiday sessions, and you will not get the rate that we have. You will get a much higher rate. So book your reservations as soon as the stream is over and make me happy.
And do it, exactly. So that's really, really important, because the other thing for those that haven't been before, the last year it was a coach, but I think you said that this year it's going to be a tram or a trolley of some description, and it just basically does a loop into town and around the hotel so that you can get to all the different venues.
Yeah. So yeah, from the 2 hotels, there will be transportation. So we'll take you into downtown and take you around. For the excursions, like the opening reception and then the closing breakfast, we will have buses that will take you to those events. And for those 2 particular events, you have to be, the only transportation is from those 2 hotels. You can't drive to those locations on your own. You have to be on Ecamm transportation to those events. So
brilliant. Thank you so much. So get on it, everybody, and then you'll be in good shape. Kathy, did the flights and hotels at some time? Just need the transport from the airport. Yeah, that's a good point. There's a few things that you can do. I think I did the C&J bus. That worked really well. Straight from the airport, I think it went to Seabrook, and then it was a very short kind of Uber ride from there to Amesbury. I know some people shared taxis and things. So there are different ways of being able to do it, but if you Discord is the place to be in there as well.
Yeah,
as
we
the challenges
posted that
and
in
things
Discord.
Yeah, as well as things that are going on in there, you've got all that information as well, and there are people that are doing it to kind of make sure that they can help you as much as they can, and very easy to do. So, Louise, working on my Creative Camp Discord homework. Yeah, there's a few things. There's already, is it 3 weeks of videos that you could have or should have done already, as well as getting ready for the cabin announcements and various things that are going to happen, which we'll let you know about as of when they're released, and we can give you more information from that as well. So yes, thank you so much everyone for being here. If there's anything else you want to ask us, do stick it in the chat now, and remember that you can join us next time through Zoom, just as Aubrey did, and it'd be great to be able to sort of share those stories with you. This is what we're here for, is to kind of make sure that everyone gets to know each other, is sort of friendly, and give a little bit of your story, your background, anything you'd like to share, whether you were in last year's or whether you're just interested in what's going to happen this year, would be really, really important. So yeah, anything we can do let us know. Lisa, anything you'd like to share before we say goodbye?
Just looking forward to meeting everybody, and like I said, seeing people I saw last year again. So it's a ton of fun.
Cool.
Learn a lot. It's a good time.
Exactly. Neil?
The same. Yeah, it's only 40 something days to go. So can't wait. Should be fun.
It's 49 days. It's
49 to be exact. 49 days.
Just so we know from there. So for those of you who are watching on Creative Amplifiers, we're going to be back with season 2 starting next week. So if you're not on Creative Amplifiers, do make sure that you've gone over to the YouTube channel there to be able to subscribe and keep up to date with all those things as well. And yeah, if you want to know a little bit more about that, here's some information for you. So on that show, same sort of thing. You can send us your photographs. And by that, we mean if you're wearing any kind of Ecamm merch, wherever it happens to be, whatever it is that you're doing, we'd love to see those photos, and we'd like to be able to share those. If you want to be a guest on the show and share your story, you can do that there and tell us about your show. As we said, we're just literally here to kind of help promote what you're doing, share the things that you've learned, and just really make it as positive an experience as we possibly can. Use the QR code there, and everything else you can be found at creativeamplifiers.live. So really, really looking forward to seeing everybody. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Lisa. It's been a joy as always. We will see you back here in 2 weeks for CCTV, and we'll see you next week on Creative Amplifiers. Can't wait to see you then. Bye-bye.
Well.